Hello everyone. So in the last classes you have studied about refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. So now in today's topic we will study about refraction of light through a prism. But please recall about the previous topic, that is refraction of light through a glass slab. So what we have observed after refraction? So we have observed that the slight displacement of the emergent ray, so which is moving parallel to the incident ray, so it shows the lateral change in the position, right? So now we are going to show one more activity, that is refraction of light through a prism. But before doing that activity we must understand what is a prism and how does it looks like. So as you can see in this picture, this is the picture of a prism which is made up of glass and it is a transparent medium. Okay, then how many faces it has? So as you can count in the picture, 1 this side, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So totally it has 5 faces. So out of which 1, 2 and 3. So I will mark here 1 and this side it is 2 and at the bottom it is 3. So it has 1, 2 and 3. That is total it has 3 which face? Rectangle face. And then if you write here 4 and 5. So this 4 and 5, these two are triangle faces. That means a glass prism, it has 3 rectangle faces where the refraction occurs and then 2 triangle faces. And along with this, in this picture also you can find the triangle faces, that is U, T and S. I think you can see this. So this is the triangle face, whereas this one, this P, T, S and R. So this rectangle face. So like this, how many rectangle faces a prism has? 3 rectangle face and 2 triangle face. So this is the structure of a prism. Now we will move on to our activity. That is, how does refraction takes place when the light passes through a prism? Clear? Okay, let us start with that activity. But to do the activity we need some necessary materials. So can you imagine what materials we need to do this activity? Yes. So the activity is same like that of our refraction through a glass prism. The only difference between these two is, instead of taking glass slab we need to take triangle prism. Now we had to take a drawing board and on the drawing board we had to fix a drawing sheet by using drawing pens. So consider, I will place a drawing sheet on the drawing board. So this consider it as a drawing sheet and then take a glass prism and place the glass prism on this sheet of paper in such a way that its triangle base should lie on the sheet of paper. So if we observe from the top we can see like this, right? I think you can imagine this one. Now trace the border of the prism. In which shape we will get? We will get as a triangle shape, and then to this triangle shape just you draw a slant line or an inclined line, and on this inclined line just you place 2 pens and I will mark it as P and here I will mark it as Q. Clear? P and Q. Then and this point I will mark it as E. So wherever this line joins the surface, that is A and B, and I will mark it as C. Then take another 2 pins and observe the P and Q pin from the face, that is AC. So from this side we have to observe these 2 pins. Then whenever we are placing the third and fourth pin, we have to keep it in mind that all these 4 pins should lie in the straight line. Clear? So third pin and fourth pin here, and I will mark it as R and S. Then join this R S together by drawing one more line. So this is S, this is R, and the line where they joins to the face AC, I will mark it as F. Then join this E and F together. Clear? So here at the face AB, draw a normal line. I think you know the meaning of normal. Clear? And from at the face AC also, at the point F, you draw one more normal. So what do you mean by normal? So a normal, it is the perpendicular line, imaginary perpendicular line to the face. Which face? That is refracting face or any reflecting face. And then here we had to identify the angle of incidence and then angle of refraction. Clear? Okay, then see the ray which is moving in this direction, that is at the face AB, we call it as incident ray. What do we call? We call it as an incident ray, that is PE, right? The PE we call it as incident ray. The PE we call it as incident ray. Imagine if this ray, if it does not shows any refraction, how does it move? Actually it should move in straight line like this, right? Okay, but since it is moving from one medium to another medium, it is showing what? Refraction. So I think you know the definition of refraction. So what do you mean by refraction? So refraction is bending of the light ray when it passes from one medium to another medium. So here this is air medium and this is which medium? Glass medium. Okay, so I will take this angle as angle of incidence. This is angle of incidence, and here this angle we take it as angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Okay, then so after refraction it moves here, and then at the point F again it shows refraction, right? And then it bends. So this angle, which one? This angle we call it as angle of emergence. Do you repeat? It is called as angle of emergence. Okay, so here we have drawn the normal at point E and at F. Have we marked it? No. So I will mark it as N and N dash. Here we will mark it as M and M dash. So these are the normals. Okay, then if you draw one more imaginary line from this emergent ray, which is emergent ray, this FS, the FS is the emergent ray. So if you draw an imaginary line backwards, this emergent ray, it joins at some point where here at this point. So please observe it. So actually this is the incident ray, and imagine if this incident ray does not show any refraction, it would have moved in straight line, but due to refraction through a glass prism, it shows refraction and it bends and it is moving in this way. So if we draw an imaginary line backwards, here we will get one more angle. So this angle we call it as angle of deviation. What do we call? We call this angle as angle of deviation. So it has to move here, but it is moving here. So this much angle, at this much angle the light ray has deviated. So this is the angle of deviation. So shall we recall this once again? Yes. So what we did? we took a drawing board, and on the drawing board we placed a sheet of paper and we fixed it by using drawing pins, and then we placed an prism on the sheet of paper, and then we have drawn the border for the prism. Then we have drawn an inclined line and we marked P and Q, and we fixed two pins. From the face AC we observed the two pins in such a way that they should lie in straight line, and we fixed the third and fourth pin and we marked as RS. Clear? And we have joined all these lines, and wherever the PQ meets on the AB face we call it as E, and the RS where it meets on the AC we call it as F point. Then we joined E and F, and we have drawn the normal to the face AB, that is N and N dash, and we marked one more normal to the face AC, that is M and M dash, and we found angle of incidence for the ray, that is PQ, incident ray, and then EF is the refracted ray, EF is the refracted ray, and then FS is the emergent ray. So at this point we call it as emergent angle, angle of emergence. This is angle of refraction, this is angle of incidence, and on drawing two lines from these, incident ray and emergent ray, at this point we got one more angle, it is called as angle of deviation. So at this much angle the light ray is deviated, and this is called as angle of the prism. This is called angle of the prism. So as you can see here, the light ray is bending when it passes through the prism. So we can conclude this activity by using this image. I think you all can see it. Can you observe? Yes. See, PQ, this is normal, angle of incidence, angle of refraction, normals, and FS. What is FS? Emergent ray. This is angle of the prism, angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of emergence. This is angle of deviation. So the light ray it bends. The light ray it bends when it passes through a rectangular prism. Right? Okay. Then we will move to the next topic by using this idea, that is dispersion of white light by a glass prism. So what is our topic? So our topic is dispersion of white light by a glass prism. Okay, then to do this activity what we need? Simple, we need a thick sheet of cardboard and which is having a small hole or a narrow slit in its middle. Clear? And along with that we need a glass prism, and then we need a screen. That's all. So if we have all these things we can do this activity easily. Now let us start with the activity. Just take a thick sheet of cardboard and make a small hole or a narrow slit in its middle. So how? Simple. Just take a sheet of paper and in this make a small hole. Now when we allow the light to pass through it, what we will get? We will get a narrow light. We will get a narrow light which is passing through this. Right? We will get a narrow beam of light which is passing through this hole. So then pass the light which is coming out of this hole through a glass prism. Through a glass prism. And here in front of the glass prism just we have to hold a screen, any screen, either you can use a sheet of paper or you can focus it on a white wall or you can use any white cloth. Clear? And then just you rotate the glass prism in such a way that you should observe colors, different colors on the screen. Then from the previous activity or from the previous topic we learned that whenever light ray passes through the prism it shows bending, right? So for that reason on this screen we can observe different colors. So 1, 2, 3, then 4, like this. So totally we will observe 7 colors. So how many I have written here? 2, 3, then still we need 2, right? Okay, I will write like this only. Okay, so what color we will observe is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Clear? So it looks like a rainbow color. It looks like a rainbow color. So why we have observed all these colors? Because there is a reason. The reason is whenever the light it passes through the prism. I will repeat again. Whenever the light passes through the prism, it bends at different angle. The light ray bends at different angle. So for that reason we observe that the light rays are splitting. The light rays are splitting. So this splitting of the light, into its component colors, we call it as dispersion. What do we call? We call it as dispersion. Now what do you mean by dispersion? So dispersion is the splitting of the white light into its component colors when it passes through a prism. So we call it as dispersion. And then how many colors we got? 7 colors, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So by using all these words we wrote an acronym. So that acronym for these colors to remember easily is VIBGYOR. So what do we call? We call it as VIBGYOR. So here whenever the white light splits, they are arranged in an orderly manner, right? So we call this arrangement as spectrum. What do we call? We call that as spectrum. So then what do you mean by spectrum? The band of colored components. It is a band of colored components of a light beam. The band of the colored components of a light beam is called its spectrum. So this VIBGYOR is a spectrum of white light. Clear? And the splitting of the white light into its component colors is called as dispersion. Okay, then you have seen that white light is dispersed into 7 colors, that is its components, by a prism. Then why do we get these colors? What is the reason? That is, different colors of light that bend through different angles. I think you can remember that angle of deviation. So the angle of deviation, it is different for different light. For that reason we can observe all these colors. And if you observe here, the red light, which light? The red light, it bends the least, while the violet color, it bends most. I will repeat again. The red light, it bends least, whereas the violet light, it bends most. So thus the rays of each color emerge along different paths and thus they become distinct. So it is the band of distinct colors that we see in the spectrum. I think you all have got the answer. So why do we observe all these colors when the light ray passes through the prism? So who did this activity actually? I think you can remember his name, that is Sir Isaac Newton. So he did this activity, and then along with this he also tried one more activity, that is whatever VIBGYOR light, that was different pattern he got, he tried to split these light further by using one more prism. So we will learn that later, but you just look at into this picture. In this picture clearly you will get the dispersion of light, that is we took a sheet of paper, we made a small slit, so white light is passed, through a prism and the light gets splitted, and on the screen we got these colors. So these colors are called as spectrum, right? Okay, then we will move on to the Isaac Newton next activity. That is what he did. He took prism, he passed the light. What he got? He got the different colors, and then in front of it he kept one more prism. I will show in the picture. So he took a prism, he passed the light, so the light bends at different angle, clear, and then in front of it again he placed one more prism to split these lights again, but he did not get the lights properly. And then you know what he did? He placed the second prism in the inverted manner. See here, when he placed the second prism, this is the first prism, where this one is the first prism, this is second prism. So whenever he placed the second prism in the inverted manner, and then on the screen, you know what he got? He got the white light back. See, white light passing to the first prism splits into 7 colors, and then when these 7 colors again pass through the another prism or the second prism which is placed in inverted manner, again they gets recombined and they give white light. So from this activity that Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, he said that white light, it is made up of 7 colors, and wherever we get this rainbow colors or Vibgeier colors, they are all because of the splitting of the white light. Clear? So this is the activity which is made by Newton, and also the spectrum which is present or which is formed by the prism. And then if you look at into these colors, always we will remember a situation, that is a rainbow, formation of rainbow. So when does the rainbow is formed? So as you all can answer for this question, that is during especially rainy season, right? And we have observed that the rainbow is formed opposite to the sunlight. I think now you can reason out why we can observe these rainbow colors after rain shower especially, right? Why? Again, this is because of splitting of the white light into its component color. So shall I show you that? Yes, see. So this is a raindrop. So whenever the sunlight enters into this raindrop, so we will apply our some technical knowledge. So this raindrop, it acts as one medium. This is air medium. So whenever the light, it passes from one medium to other medium, what it shows? It shows refraction. So here the light rays, they gets refracted. So after refracted, they bends at different angle. They bends at different angle, and then here these lights get reflected. So after reflection, they moves in this way. Again they gets refracted and they shows different colors. So this happens in a raindrop to form a rainbow. So how? Look here. This is the sunlight. When the sunlight it falls on the raindrop, it shows refraction. So just now we have studied in the previous topic how does the refraction takes place in a prism to form a rainbow colors. So refraction takes place and the light the bends at different angles. So red light it bends least, violet bends most, and then they get refracted, and inside the raindrop they shows a reflection. So since it is showing the reflection only inside the raindrop, we call it as internal reflection. What do we call? We call it as internal reflection. So after internal reflection, again it comes out of the raindrop by refraction. So these colors we observe as rainbow. So this is how the rainbow is formed by the process, that is refraction internal reflection and again refraction, which makes rainbow color, that is 7 colors, again that is Vibgyor. Understood? So then children, if you like this video, so please subscribe to my channel and forward this video to your friends as much as you can, so that it may help others also. And then please give your comment regarding this video, and it will help me to improve the videos for the next classes also. Thank you.